All right, video number 1, fuel systems. This car has a fuel cell in the back of it. And depending on where you go to race, you're gonna have to have a firewall here that separates the fuel cell from the driver. Grudge racing, back of the track stuff, you can get away with this. If you go to a mainstream track, say you're a big bracket racer or something, this will not work at all. But the overall ideas are going to be the same. Such as wherever you have your penetrations coming through right here. Where your fuel line comes through, you have to run some sort of insulator to keep that sharp edge off your fuel line. You don't want to be going anywhere and have that sharp edge get into your fuel line. It can cause a fire, lose fuel. At the very least, it's going to cause a lean condition. That might be your engine. So don't cheap out on something there. Make sure you take your time, over drill your holes, put some sort of insulator there to keep the sharp edge from rubbing. So this is our return line at the top. Feeds are at the bottom. Your vent line has to go outside the vehicle. You don't want to be in this sucker and be up there driving. The next thing you know, you're high as a kite and going cross-eyed. Could be fun until you wreck. Inside your old fuel cells here, dude, you got some foam. And that foam is made for anti-slosh. So say you're drag racing, road course racing, wherever you are, that's going to try to help control some of that fuel to end up in the bottom. Now, depending on what you're doing, you can orientate this fuel cell however you please. You got to think about what you're using the vehicle for. Like say, for instance, I'm drag racing. I want that thing at the back because all that fuel is going to slosh to the back. If I'm building, say, a road course car, circle track car, and all I'm doing is turning one direction, well, might think about it a little bit. If I put this to one side instead of towards the rear, can I get any more fuel out of that fuel cell? If I'm able to turn 1 or 2 more laps without having to stop for fuel, and you've got to stop, I just beat you by 1 or 2 laps. So sit down and think about that before you mount your fuel cell. This drops down here, has 2 cartridge style filters from Aeromotive. This car's on E85 and it's got a MagnaFuel 750 pump. If you don't know nothing about E85, it is absolutely key to do your maintenance. These filters right here, where it sets up, it will gel up just like a diesel, and that fuel has to fight coming through that gel and then be pushed out that gel. And we all know when it's fighting like that, it's going to cause a lean condition. What happens with lean conditions? They pop motors. Another thing about E85 is you got to stay on top of your injectors. You got to clean them, you got to flow them, you got to make sure that these are functioning properly, because you don't want one of these to be running lean and the rest are running correctly. Next thing you know, you got a down hole. So make sure you take the time. Something as simple as having them flowed, maybe they're $20 to have each injector flowed. So 2, 4, 6, $80, guys. $80 can save you thousands in a motor. Same with the filters back there. You can get stainless steel cartridge filters, pull them out, can of brake cleaner, you're good to go. Another thing a lot of people cheap out on is your regulators. Have the regulator to match your fuel pump. If you have a fuel pump, a random number here, 500 gallons, right? If you don't have a regulator that's big enough to flow that amount of fuel back, you are going to be fighting all kinds of issues. That little gauge there, it's awesome when you set your base pressure. And what your base pressure is say you just turn the key on. Without the engine running, it's going to flash on this car, it's going to flash to 45 PSI. That is your base pressure. Depending on if you're running turbo, nitrous, if you're running whatever your setup may be, these regulators have a different ratio. Most of them are 1-to-1. What that means is say at 45 PSI base pressure, once it sees 1 PSI boost, guess what? It jumps up 1. On your higher engine management, and I mean like this car is on a max ECU, so it is capable of doing this. Anytime you can put a sensor here and get that real-time information, that's just going to make your tune-up that much better or help you diagnose the issue. So guys, that's video number 1.